through there.
And yeah, what second match have we got? We're about to find out.
I'm pretty sure JJ's involved.
Of course.
StanCifka, yeah.
Yeah, another complexity member of JJ versus StanCifka. We saw Sifka's not banning Shaman lineup. That's his choice, his strategy overall. And he is 1-1 versus JJ now. And funnily enough, StanCifka is playing now against a Shaman. And JJ using is that Draenei Totem Carver I see off in the distance?
Yeah, it actually is.
Okay.
A Totem Carver. He also has a 7/7 and a Bloodlust, so this deck's pretty aggressive as Beasts and Shamans have gone.
Yeah, it's actually not the first time I've seen JJ play the Totem Carver in a deck, but the last time was quite a while ago now, so interesting that he's gone with that card. I feel like there are a lot of cards you would still like to put in Shaman that are not Draenei Totem Carver.
I think the thing is at the moment, the Shaman has got really, really weird because you know it's going to be banned out 85% of the time, something like that. And so if you're going to have to play that Shaman deck, you can't bring the normal deck, because if they're letting you play it...
There's a reason they're letting you play it.
They're either bad, in which case you beat them, or there's a reason they're letting you play it, like you just said. So you start playing weird cards and playing... Like in JJ's case, it looks like he's playing hefty stuff and say, well, if you're going to play Reno, or you're going to play the lineup that beats the Shaman, I'm just going to have big stuff in my Shaman deck and hammer you down with it.
Yeah, and just cause an issue right there and then. And yeah, this is looking like it's going at least okay for JJ now. 20 health so far. We're on turn 7 as well, so StanCifka appears to have not been able to at least, aggressively rush down JJ. But matchup does look fairly even. StanCifka's actually only on 14 health, so looks like earlier on JJ had a good handle, but StanCifka managed to stabilize.
Yeah, although Stabilize is slightly loose with this particular hand right now. With that Hex in hand, JJ setting up a board, knowing that one of the real big weaknesses of Dragon Warrior, a bit like Zoo, is that it just can't clear a big, wide board. And if you're in front on health as well, the Warrior is all hands on deck, just not dying. And with this Hex and Bloodlust with this wide board, everything looks really good for JJ right now.
Soon.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can really do about this. And like you said, the Fire Elemental, the Bloodlusty. It's like JJ's got options for everything, right? Like, that's the key thing. And there we go.
Back 2-1.
Yeah, and JJ takes it, and he's now, as he said, 2-1 up. And, he got the win with the Shaman, and now he has to go again with the Shaman versus StanCifka. And, StanCifka already taken the loss. Looks like he's going to just lock in his Druid. That's the deck he has left.
Right.
So I'm not sure if we saw bans. I don't think we did.
We did
at time. I believe then the loss would be with the Reno lock.
It makes sense given that this is 1-1 when we got to it, and the other match has gone all the way through.
And I don't think you ban the Reno lock even if you're playing Shaman, right?
Seems like you don't.
I don't think so.
Although you may have had a chance to get things through and so on, but yeah, it seems like you don't. JJ's also intimidating StanCifka with fruit, which is what StanCifka normally does to his opponents.
Yeah. Should be in a banana though. It's the fruit of choice. I remember seeing a picture, and it was still one of the funniest pictures I've ever seen, was StanCifka playing against, I don't know if he was playing against Orange, or the picture was sent to Orange, of him like literally halfway through a bite of an orange.
Wow.
And it was when they were, I think it got tweeted when they were in a tournament against each other. And it was the best. It was just like, well, scare tactics.
Scare tactics.
Yeah.
Wow, that's terrifying. So if you're going to beat Shaman with Druid, this is one of the starts you'll want to. The hand needs to develop. It's one of those hands that can go wrong sometimes.
You effectively need to
take
cheat.
your chance with this hand.
You effectively need to cheat.
You need to cheat.
Yeah.
Wild Growth and Innovate.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's
cheating.
Literally how you beat Shaman there and getting ahead. So we'll see if it's going to be enough from StanCifka though. Living Roots are okay with some spell damage. You can actually take down, potential Feral Spirit. If JJ's even playing Feral Spirit, I'm starting to wonder that's one of the cards that actually starts to go out. If you're bringing in Flame Faceless,
Totem Carver.
Totem Carver, exactly.
Very mid-rangey cards.
And even the Fire Elemental isn't completely standard in the list. We've not seen the late game, but Bloodlust, Fire Elemental, Totem Carver, 4 mana 7/7 as it's most commonly known by as well. If you're playing all of those cards, you definitely need to cut somewhere, and even some lists have been playing one Feral Spirit recently. Curio is such a high value minion.
Yeah, it's interesting because you play dragons in the deck anyway, so that's one card you get out of it. It also slows things down a bit with the taunt, but We don't have the Murloc, and we don't, I believe, have a Beast anymore. Nobody really plays Moonkin anymore, so unlikely that it's going to be useful beyond fetching an Hazard Ray.
Yeah, if Cifka was playing a Beast, he would probably be playing Curator as well in this deck. I believe, or at least I'm guessing, Cifka's Druid is probably similar to the Druid he played last week at Game Gun, which, believe it or not, was minus Malygos, plus Frigid Snowballed,
Okay.
and a Gadget Zan. And I don't know how, but he took wins with that deck, so that was very impressive.
Yeah, it really does, because you've got rid of your win condition against Warrior to some degree. The Curator here, obviously, when he actually went for Minion, by the way, we should highlight there with the Raven Idol, because his hand is full of spells that control the board reasonably well for now. So he felt he needed a high power Minion to just do something, and yeah, he's going to get that on the board now. Yeah,
Cifka's in a position that we've all been in as classes that aren't Shaman, where we would really like to have Lightning Storm as a card.
Right.
That'd be really nice to you just want to wipe the board and then move on, but not going to happen.
You sound a very jealous of Shaman kind of guy.
I'm jealous of Lightning Storm. That's a good card. We're in the... Never mind, don't get me started on Maelstrom. But Lightning Storm is a good card. I would play that in almost every deck.
Upsetting Raven at the last hours of the day, talking about Shaman.
Why doesn't Hunter have Lightning Storm? That's my main question.
It does, it's called Unleash the Hounds.
Not quite as good.
Sure.
I played what was it? I played a guy who's played Unleash, and he was running Timberwolf. I was like,
genius.
That combo's actually pretty good. He like just wiped the whole board easily and still had loads of mana because Timberwolf is a 1-mana card. It's crazy. But
okay,
back
so
to this game.
17 health already Cifka's down to, and in fairness, JJ hasn't done anything outrageous apart from a Totem Golem.
Yeah.
Just chipping away. And it's starting to become an emergency already for Cifka. And we've seen that JJ's deck is a bit heavier, so it is going to have some good play in the future turns as well against Druid.
Yeah, Living Roots and Moonfire are nice, like actually reasonable priority picks. Not too bad. Soul of the Forest, not in this matchup. Not too fussed about that one. He has 1 mana for Living Roots right now, though, so may as well use it. Benefit from the spell damage, kill off that Tunnel Trogon. Cross his fingers, basically, at this point. There is only 3 mana available for JJ, which is important. Oh, my.
It's important because now you can do this.
Hey, he's got Thing from Below, why not? I think it's actually going to be saved. Maybe not, actually.
It's awkward, right? Because if you play it and it gets swiped, bad things happen.
Do you ever play it and trade?
Yes, sometimes.
Because then you remove the swipe being as much of an issue because you have to face tank the extra damage potentially. And also, you've still got Fire Elemental, you've still got Azure Drake. You can also just go face and storm down anything next turn he wants.
Right, the health total of StanCifka now is becoming an issue. So 4 to the face is definitely a possibility. But I think that JJ will probably be just too scared of the spell damage with a 5 health minion on board. So, interesting to see. And he's not quite sure himself which way to go.
It feels bad to just put all your damage and basically full double trade your minions into the Azure Drake.
Right.
But this is just the safer play, and I think his hand lends itself to make the safer play, to be honest.
Yes, he's got a great
hand. He's got Fire Elemental, which is fantastic next turn. Yeah, I really like this from JJ. He has Azure Drake to refill. He has Azure Drake Maelstrom for turn 7 if he needs it. You know, his hand's looking fantastic. He does not need to rush this game as he's already very, very far ahead.
Cifka having to play Fandral with Nourish in hand but not enough mana to cast it. Yeah. Feral Rage still pretty good with the Fandral, and he's going to get the Living Roots value as well. So it's going to be a pretty huge turn here. But I was going to say JJ can cope. I'm not sure he can cope with his current hand. This Fandral might live, and if this Fandral's going to live, unless JJ takes emergency measures.
He can't.
And he can't.
No way he can kill it.
So Fandral's going to live, which means that StanCifka's going to get a Nourish off with Fandral on the board, and that is a massive game changer potentially, especially if he draws Wraths and things from that Nourish.
So, are we eyeing up Azure Drake into Maelstrom here? Oh, he can't. What am I talking about? I thought he was on 7.
I think his play is to fire Ellie Fandral now, and then next turn he's got Azure Drake into the Maelstrom and just clear what he can. But he will be terrified of this Nourish, and this Nourish is a thing that is going to happen.
Yeah. But he has to very quickly identify that, you know, and he will have already, that he can't kill Fandral. So, yeah, he's just going to set up the Elemental, which is great. The Fandral will die to AoE next turn.
And now we're going to get a Miracle-esque turn. These turns resemble rogue turns sometimes.
Oof.
Nourish.
Second Nourish, go! I mean,
it's
the
tempting,
second Nourish
especially
isn't
if
even...
Giant gets so cheap.
Well, what else you do when you turn? Giant gets to 2. You have the mana because of the Nourish. You can Moonfire. You can still Thanos Moonfire and still play the Giant.
There's a Wrath which you can play and still play the Giant.
Yeah.
These are things you
Double
can do. That's the
Nourish with Fandral.
And now you
when
clear
Nourish
up the
costs
board,
3.
protect your Fandral and play an 8/8, which says, sure, go ahead, Maelstrom Portal my Fandral and I'll hit you for 8.
Yeah. So, this is huge. But let's bear in mind that JJ does have double AoE. Obviously not double Lightning Storm yet, but does have the Lightning Storm and the Maelstrom. But he can get away now with Azure Drake Maelstrom. Does 2. If he does another 2 as the Giant trades into the Drake, then Lightning Storm deals with life here. Imp, not fantastic.
Not fantastic at all, because Blood Mage Swipe deals with that, Azure Drake Swipe deals with that, and the beating will start to come back the other way. JJ still has a little play, but Cifka's now up to 20 health. Those little bits of armor are making a difference as well, and he's in control of this, and he's looking like he's going to get it to 2.
Yeah, and the problem is as well, Cifka just has 1,000 cards at the moment. You know, that you look at his hand, Geddon, Swipe, Moonfire with Thalnos available if required. Like, he can clear this board at least twice versus JJ here, and if you clear the board twice and JJ's not pressuring the damage, then it's just not going to be enough, to be honest.
Yeah, looking for all the world from what we know, it's going to be 2-2, and just sort of go through the motions. Obviously, the Hex is going to buy some time. Ragnarok's not completely ideal on this board, but Swipe looks pretty good right now.
Yeah, it really does, and
Cifka's at the point now. Down as well.
Cifka's at the point where he's so far ahead on cards that he can just be slow. He can be as slow as he wants. Swipe the board, do whatever you need to do to clear the board, fine. Then just poke him in the face. Shaman is not known for its healing ability, although at Game Gun, JJ was playing a healing wave in his mid-range Shaman, but I don't believe it was this list.
Right.
So, you know, I'm not saying he is playing healing wave today.
But it's a card.
But it's a card he has put in his deck and played in a series tournament before.
Now, as you say, there may not be a Malygos in this deck if it's the same deck as before, you were saying. So Moonfiring for 3 is why he's doing that.
He's got the spell damage, yeah. Why not?
Right, yeah. And a million different lethals here. JJ doesn't get the spell damage first attempt. Doesn't get it second attempt. And so we can see that he's dead. He probably can too. He's dead. And it's 2-2. StanCifka going to have the Druid, and we're going to see if JJ's got Zoo left or not.
Yeah, we're going to find out pretty quickly, and this is going to go to the final game. And it looks like JJ's on to Warrior.
Right. And that's bad news for JJ if he is. Although there's no Malygos.
No, there's no Malygos.
If there's no Malygos in that deck, if there is no Malygos in that deck, then it's not anywhere near as catastrophic.
But we're going to find out as we very quickly move on to what is going to be the last game of the day in this Cifka versus JJ, the end of round 6.
We're
in. Yeah, very swiftly lost count of what round we were in there.
And there is the snowball, so you believe this means there's probably no Malygos based on previous decks that he has played.
1 Gadget Zan, 1 Snowball, no Malygos.
Right.
As far as
based,
I'm aware.
unless he's changed things for this event.
Of course. Of course.
But if that is the case, then Warrior is better placed than it was previously, and this is actually Dragon Warrior.
Yeah. I'll be completely honest, like, JJ, especially with this opening by first glance, doesn't look really fast. And now we see the opening for Cifka, which is actually pretty reasonable. JJ playing against Cifka's list. Cifka's list is more defensive and adaptable because of the lack of melee and the lack of reliance on it. But JJ could just kill him. You know, like that's Dragon Warrior does a pretty good job of that. But this, Cifka just has everything. He can just ramp, into nourish, into ramp, into cards. Like,
and this is
ridiculous
to me because JJ was part of that prop bet with Life Coach against Cifka, and Cifka was the Dragon Warrior guy that day. Yeah. So there's a certain irony that he's probably convinced JJ to play this deck today. So Cifka going through the obvious and standard Druid curving, and JJ just setting up to start an assault, but he hasn't got really much to assault with right now.
The good thing is the Frothing Berserker is pretty nice. It's going to eat up a potential Feral Rage on 4. On 4 mana, not turn 4, but 4 mana. Which is nice, make a playoff curve. Really needs Twilight Guardian next turn though.
Yeah, he's struggling for things to do at the moment. And StanCifka is starting to spiral slightly out of control.
And I think it's fair to mention as well, because I don't believe we have, both these players are 5-0, I believe, 5-5.
Yeah,
not played that many bloody rounds of Hearthstone. But they have 5-0, so, you know, if the other match we just played was an elimination match, Z now can't qualify, but this match, this is just one player goes...
almost a qualification match.
Almost.
But 6-0 to 6-3, there's always the outside chance that one person sneaks through, depending how many drop out and so on.
But no, this is these players are both at the top of the game. No surprise, because JJ is just a god, especially at DreamHack Swiss. He just doesn't really fail to qualify.
He's now gone past Terrence in terms of wins, if you even count Montreal, where JJ wasn't at.
Yeah,
so
it's just
absolutely incredible. I don't count Montreal because it wasn't a Grand Prix event, but in fairness to Terrence just done so well on DreamHack. Somebody's got to count it in.
It's just, I feel like JJ needs just a reserve top 16 spot. At any DreamHack he attends, they just put him in there as a 16th player all the time. Because he generally does just make it every single time, and in other Swiss, in other tournaments
as well, he's just done the same thing. He's just a Swiss god, double elimination god, and not quite had the luck really on day 2 a lot of the time, like the top 8. The top 6.
So JJ did get his 4 drop, and now he has just a 5 drop, and suddenly, looking a little bit rough, he can now be way more aggressive. And 4-7, depending on obviously what StanCifka does this turn, he can set up a 9-9 Crusher next turn, and that's
Druid's
pretty
not
huge.
a fan of 9-9.
Druid just can't deal with it, and even this, like, you know, the Geddon's going to kill off the Korkron.
Now if he wants it, there's 2 of them. But he's in no hurry, he's going to get them anyway.
This is such a nice kill. It's not clean, but look at his board now. Like, what is StanCifka going to do? And then he follows up with 2 9-9s consecutively. Like, what does Druid play?
And this is the downside of when your deck list becomes roughly known. We're assuming there's no Malygos, unless he snuck one in there, which is going to be a big surprise to JJ. JJ could tank 7 there. Sometimes if the Druid had a Malygos in, you'd be really scared to take yourself down to 15 there. You'd have to think a long time about that particular
To be fair, there would have to be double Moonfire, Living Roots.
But you'd actually at least have to check yourself.
Oh,
kill this. This is easy.
Yeah, I agree. But I think
he would have done it anyway, even in that situation.
But this just sets up you winning the game.
Right.
Like, what does a Druid do against a 9-9? Well, not a lot. What does a Druid do against a 9-9 and then another 9-9 the turn after? Die.
18.
Yeah,
right.
Die. Like, you know, there's no real quick answer unless the Druid was already on the board, and StanCifka isn't at the moment. And however much I actually love Frigid Snowball as a card, JJ can just ignore that card and pretend it doesn't exist, because the 6 health is great for not being removed, but there's no spells for StanCifka, so he's not gaining the spell damage.
Yeah, JJ just has to be very slightly careful not to die. He is only on
trading,
so he's got to do a little bit.
Well, so the trade there doesn't change his clock.
Right,
at all. If he's playing the 9-9. Doesn't change his clock, and this is what he's doing now. He's just going, okay, what do I lose to?
Right.
If how much damage can I get away with? How much trading do I need to do while still setting up to 2-turn lethal? I know Firebat's quite fond of saying, as a general rule, if you can set up lethal without literally dying on board, then you do it almost all the time, because more often than not, you win. Like, you know, just more often than not.
A lot of the time, if you're in a desperate situation as well, you do the same thing, because surprisingly often they just don't have that card if you're being terrified of.
If you set turn 2 lethal up all the time, then unless you're literally dead, which is obviously a misplay, you set it up. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're actually just dead on board, which is pointless. But you set it up so you set up the next turn lethal, and just most of the time you just lethal them, win the game, and it's actually worthwhile.
So StanCifka is going to find a way to survive another turn. Is he? Yes. Yeah, but what's happening? So another 9-9 is going to come to town.
Yeah.
And it's not 9-9 town. They're not welcome here.
I mean, look at this. Again, like, this is the question. The first one, maybe you deal with it. 2, game. It's like,
yeah.
you know, like what you're actually going to do against 2 9/9s is such a huge problem. And JJ still has 2 cards, and it'll be 3 on the draw, of course, in hand. He has the monkey, fairy dragon into a whatever draw he's got, so he's got even more pressure. There's still Blackwing Corruptor that can, you know, trade with the Maya Keeper. Great, 18 damage, 2 Moonfires, not going to be enough. Swipe 2 Moonfires, still not going to be enough. They are 9/9s.
It's going to be JJ at the end of day 1 on 6-0.
And you know what?
And that's going to be the surprise of absolutely nobody.
So there we go. So JJ's happy there, you could see. But if you asked me before this began, pick, you're allowed 1 player.
Right.
And you give me like £1 million if you lose.
Wow.
If you win, you gain £1 million. Who are you picking? I'd be like, JJ.
Yeah,
straight away. I wouldn't even like
Swiss tournament.
Yeah, who gets through to top 16, JJ? Just 100%, because he just always does, and this is just proving again. There are a lot of people who think Hearthstone, all RNG, all luck based. Well, JJ qualifies through every single Swiss he plays in. I'm pretty sure he's done every single one in the past, at least in the past 12 months. Yeah,
so
he's got lucky in every
hundreds
single
of
tournament he's played, which is kind of ridiculous. But great performance by him, and this is the second time in 2 series we have a complexity member joining us for an interview. So that's kind of great as he almost secures his spot. So JJ, congratulations. I'll let you get your mic on before the stream can end.
Yeah, just pretend you're streaming.
There you go. You put on a headset before, right?
I'm not allowed to interview people.
So, chat, now we're gonna eat the apple.
Wow.
Oof. Okay, we needed a zoom-in camera moment there while you talk about the apple.
The apple is
symbolic, right?
The apple is actually StanCifka.
Yeah, it's symbolic.
Oh my god.
Actually tastes good, right?
We actually said that before, and we were like, he's actually taunting him with the fruit during the match. But, you know, how did congratulations, first of all. How did the match go for you in general? Did everything go to plan? Were there any shaky moments?
No. I mean, lately I'm just grinding with Life Coach 15 hours a day, so it's pretty automatic.
Nice. Feeling good then?
I don't think that's even an exaggeration, by the way. I was talking to wife coach earlier. She was saying, yep, they're just doing 12+ hours every day.
Well, it seems to be paying off as you're now 6-0, and you got I think almost guaranteed through to top 16 at this point, unless something goes horrendously wrong. But
yeah, I really enjoyed, like, playing against Stan is always very good because he's a very good player, and we are also practice partners. So very nice. Yeah. Enjoyed the day. It was a really long day.
Yeah, I mean, and on that note, we won't keep you any longer because it's been long. You need to prep for tomorrow and try and secure that top 16 spot, but I have no doubt you'll be fine. So
at least we ate the apple.
You got the apple. You managed to eat it during your interview, which is fantastic. I expect nothing less, JJ.
Guys, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, JJ.
Tomorrow,
guys out there, have a great day. See you.
Take care.
Are you actually going to leave?
Yeah, am I going to leave? So should I?
You can stay if you want.
You want to talk to Twitch?
Well, we're just going to close the show if that's okay. You can stay if you really want. Come on. Leave, JJ.
Live television, boys.
I know, yeah. This is what happens when you get players on camera. But JJ's definitely a lot of fun. But yeah, it's been a long day from all of us. We got there in the end. It's going to be 6 rounds that we've had today. We're going to continue with the 3 rounds tomorrow morning, and then we're going to do the top 6 or selection.
A chunk of the top 16. There's a lot of the top 16
matches
to watch, guys. There's going to be a lot of quality Hearthstone.
Yep.
And a lot of matches will be elimination matches tomorrow. Even in the Swiss portions, we'll probably concentrate on the guys who are looking like they might be winning or not winning, like getting through and not getting through. Because we're going to see the other guys in the top 16 anyway.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're going to find out who the top 16 are here at DreamHack Winter in Jönköping. And we're going to find that out tomorrow. We'll do most of the top 16 matches as well and really build up to that top 8. So that's going to be it for the day. We're going to be back tomorrow morning, so make sure you are with us. You check in with us. We're going to get off to a flying start. So Florinda, the other casters, all the players and stuff, check us out tomorrow. We hope you enjoyed today. And yeah, we'll see you to find out who the top 16 are.